Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. It is Monday morning. Welcome to a new episode of Stocks for Breakfast. And well, today is going to be the last day of the 30-day bootcamp challenge. We had some amazing answers, just a flood of people submitted questions to be chosen or to submit their answers to be chosen to get into the bootcamp for September. We will be announcing the winner this evening, actually, probably sometime after dinner time tonight. But I just wanted to thank everybody. The questions and actually the heartfelt questions and personal situations that you shared with me, just honestly really amazing. And we are actually going to be announcing that there will be more than one winner because the answers that we got were just phenomenal. So there will be one bootcamp winner, but we do have a special prize we're going to be giving to some of the other answers because it was really hard to choose just one answer, just one winner. I do want to say, though, today's video is going to be based on one of the core questions that we got. And it was actually one of the biggest challenges or frustrations that came out of the questions that we got. And that comes from confidence. It seemed that confidence was probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, frustration, challenge, problem, whatever word you want to use. And I'm going to answer that today. I'm going to take you through a trader journey today and really explicitly give you the answer to where trading confidence comes from. And I need to give you a little bit of context, though, and that really comes in from what I believe is the single best analogy for anything trading related, and that's driving a car. So if you could imagine for the first time, you're talking to another adult who's never driven a car before, and you want to give them 20 years of experience of how to drive a car, you know realistically that you need to have them drive. You can't have them watch Grand Theft Auto. You can't have them drive in a parking lot, although that's good to use, to learn everything. And trading is the same way. So when I'm trying to help somebody have confidence in their trading, most traders mistakenly believe that confidence comes from just because they made money. And making money obviously is what we want to do. Making money is obviously the goal. It's the whole reason we're doing this, which, by the way, some of the answers that you gave me in reference to how would your life change if you successfully navigated the markets and made money month after month after month, some of those answers were just amazing too. So first, there's three stages to trading. And again, if you can think about driving a car and always have that context in your mind, I think it's really important because while I could every single day give you my experience, you still need to accumulate some of your own experience. And during those stages of trading experience, there's usually three big ones. And the first one is you're losing money all the time, which is you really don't know how to drive at all yet. You're basically just trying not to get hurt. But then you start to get a little bit of experience and you now accelerate. that wasn't a pun. You now accelerate your activity level and you start to trade more often, maybe even trade a little bit bigger, especially if you have leverage or you have some money, a larger bankroll in your trading account. But if you still don't know what you're doing, you're going to get hurt faster. So now your losses actually accelerate. And you need to learn at this stage how to stay safe. You need to learn to gain experience so that you have many different market conditions to understand how to trade those conditions, which is a big deal because once you get to the other side that we're going to get to, then you need to understand how to manage those trades. So the first stage is you're losing money and you're losing money consistently. And some people make the mistake of actually accelerating those losses by trading more, trading actively, and trading with more leverage when they really don't have any idea what they're doing yet. And the mistake that they made is they say, well, I've been trading for 6 months, I've been trading a year, I've been trading for 2 years, but still can't make a dime and still calling themselves, still saying to themselves that they have 2 years experience. Well, you really don't. You have 2 years of the same mistake over and over again if you're not making money yet, or if you haven't reached stage two, which stage two is you're not losing money, but you're not making money anymore. And this is probably the most emotionally charged trader that I love to work with. I love to work with, and I kind of have a love-hate relationship actually with this trader because they've learned a massive amount, but still not making any money. But they're clinging to what doesn't work because they put so much effort into that. And I joke around often, actually a lot with my former business partner, Eric, we used to say the hardest person to work with is somebody who's not willing to unlearn what's not working. I know there's a lot of negatives in there, but you have to be willing to learn. And our trader counselor, Rick, often says that you need to be coachable, regardless of how much experience you have. And that's a fact. If you acknowledge, if you're watching this video right now, quite honestly, there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. There's no doubt about that. Even for myself, I have mentors, I have coaching groups, I have mastermind groups that I'm a part of, and there's tens of thousands of dollars that I pay to elevate myself to go from here to here to here. And that's hopefully what you're looking to do now. You know, you start out with the free YouTube video, then you make an investment in the boot camp, and you spend 30 days, and you're like, wow, this is amazing. And then you decide, you know what, I want this for an entire year. That's the development that you have to take once you get to the point where you know everything, but you're not making money. So the first stage is you're losing consistently. Hopefully you're not accelerating those losses, and you get to the point where like, this is dumb, I need to do something different. You start to learn a little bit more. You start to take a lot less of those trades that are kind of like driving fast when it's raining, or driving fast when there's snow or ice on the road. You stop that, right? Then you start to make some winning trades, and they're kind of balancing each other out. But you have small losses, small wins, but you don't quite have those bigger wins yet that pay the bills. So you have all these other trades that wash each other out, and then maybe like 40 or 50% of the other trades are the ones that you actually get paid on. Which, look, let's face it, that is reality. That's reality of trading. I get people all the time asking me, what is your win-loss percentage? And I'm going to curse here, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning. I don't give a shit. I honestly don't care what my win-loss percentage is, because it's the easiest argument to blow out of the water. You could have a 90% win-loss percentage and lose it all on one trade. And if you don't believe me, you're not a real trader, because every trader I've ever met has had that one big loss that kind of rears its ugly head and keeps coming back in. And it's you, as you progress as a trader, where you become better and better at keeping that down, keeping that monster in the closet. So win-loss percentage is bullshit. The only thing that matters is your account equity growing each month? And then when you get to the third stage, which is now you stop losing money, you put a plug in that dam, you've gone past your making money, losing money, making money, losing money. What you're missing is that last piece, which, by the way, that last piece is what we specialize in the boot camp once you understand what you're looking at, which is learning how to hold those winning trades longer. And we have a bunch of different ways of managing those winning trades. And I promise you, I absolutely promise you, if you do the hard work, by the end of the 30 days in the boot camp, your biggest problem is going to be managing winning trades. I promise you, and I bet you that anybody who's in the boot camp right now will validate that. The only problem that some people have is they don't understand how to manage trades, and they assume that they're all in on one trade and that trade has to work. So I just want to wrap this up with that. Losing consistently, breaking even consistently, you make a little, lose a little. Each month, maybe you make a little, lose a little, make a little, lose a little. Then you get to the other side where then you're starting to make money consistently. And now it's just a question of learning how to manage those winning trades well, which brings me to the whole point of the video, getting back to the topic of the video, which is confidence. Confidence does not come from the market. I will flat out tell you right now, and take this in the right context, the market's going up virtually every day right now. There are some stocks that are pulling back on bad earnings, but there's a huge stimulus package under the market right now. And if anybody doesn't believe that the market's being held up by the government right now by this stimulus package, you're so naive, it's not even funny. And how does that tie into confidence? I've had some people right now telling me that they're placing huge bets right now on individual trades in their account, which is just flat out dumb. The point that I want to make about that comment is you believe that you're doing well right now and taking these monster bets because of what the government's doing right now. Now, maybe you're doing that because the government's doing it right now, but that's not where confidence is going to come from. You're going to be shaking like a leaf, hoping that the market doesn't change. That's not confidence. Confidence is regardless of market conditions, you fully understand how to, first you have a strategy that works. And the only way to understand that strategy works is to actually trade it. I get emails all the time about simulated trading. I am telling you, I'm doing this for 20 years. You are not going to take a simulated result that you get over time and say, I made $20,000 in my simulated account in August. I had an 82% win ratio in my simulated account during August. I'm telling you, curse coming up. That's bullshit also. You are never going to take a simulated result where there's zero emotions and do the same exact thing with real money on the line. I don't care if you trade Robinhood. I don't like trading on Robinhood. I don't think there's a whole other story if you're a real trader. But you need to trade 50 shares. You need to trade 100 shares. You need to put your emotions on the line. You need to put real money on the line to see how you react. You need to get hit in the face. You need to get a real punch into the gut. You need to get real adversity. You need to have real winners and say, how do I react to that? So real confidence, true confidence, to answer that number one big frustration comes from, number one, having an edge that you believe in. That's by far the single biggest thing. And the only way to believe it is what I just said, is you actually have to trade it, and you have to have a large enough sample size to say this works. And whether that's 50 trades that were profitable, whether that's 3 months. I prefer 3 months because some people swing trade, some people day trade. There might be a little different amount of trades that you place. The second thing is you need to understand how to find good ideas that match your strategy. A lot of traders get frustrated that they're not sure which stocks to trade. Well, number one, if you're not sure which stocks to trade, that means you don't have a strategy. And number two, if you do have a strategy, you're not sure which stocks to trade, you don't know how to use your strategy. So in the boot camp, I'll use this as an example, especially for newer traders that come in, and I repeat this day after day after day. If we review 30 game plan meetings, 30 stocks in the game plan meeting, which every day at 8:45 we have that game plan meeting, and we go through stock after stock after stock, and I give my exact analysis on whether the stocks are good ideas, whether they're day trade, swing trade, if they're doing nothing, that kind of stuff. Before the market opens, you have our strategy, you have the stocks. Now you have to pick which stocks you should be trading. You shouldn't be worrying about a $500 stock if you have $10,000 in your account. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be picking the right fights that match your criteria. So there's strategy, and then there's confidence to find stocks that match the strategy. And then the last part is what I call BEE, what happens between entry and exit. The amount of traders that we have that get to the point now in the boot camp, I call them traders, they're members, they're not my traders, they're members, that are now managing winning trades, putting on positions, knowing what their risk is, but then having zero idea what the profitability of that trade should look like. What should I earn on this trade? What does a good trade look like? The amount of traders that are missing that last piece, where now they're making money regularly, quite honestly, consistently on good ideas, but have zero idea what a profitable trade should look like. They just want to make the most that they can on the trade. And that is such a vague idea. It's crazy. We talk about using average true range and some special moving averages and trailing stop losses by percentage, trailing stop losses by dollar sign, and then breaking it down even further by, is the stock well bid on the daily, the weekly, the monthly? How far has it gone the last 8 days? All of those things are tape reading, and all of those should factor into your profit taking. So there's having a strategy, finding good stocks, and then managing those trades. Having the confidence in yourself to say, if the stock pulls back, I'm going to scale out or get out. If the confidence in your stock, if the stock goes sideways for 4 days and it's a swing trade, and you message me and say, should I get out? It's not moving. I'm going to come back and say, well, we've discussed this. There's no reason to get out other than the fact that you're bored. The trade is still valid. And we had that happen in Run just recently, where there was a great setup and went up and paused and moved again. These are all the things that get you to that last stage of profitability and then much bigger profitability. But the confidence doesn't come from the market. If your confidence is coming from the fact that the market's going up virtually every day right now, which, by the way, I had some people asking me, is this a hard time to learn? Are you kidding me? This is the easiest time, I think, ever to learn right now, because the market is being pushed every single day. The challenge is going to come, and your confidence should come, is if and when your stocks or the market reverses, and it's not going up every single day, which, as I'm recording this right now, it's a 9-week rally. I actually had somebody in the midst of this 9-week rally asking me if this is a tough time to trade. Put that in perspective. Put that in perspective. So the confidence, the ability to pull money out of the market every single month comes from you. Confidence comes from you trusting yourself to follow your strategy. I don't know, I'm sorry, I keep doing that. It comes from you. Confidence comes from having a strategy and trusting yourself to execute it, trusting yourself to follow the strategy. First, you have to believe in the strategy. Then you have to execute the strategy. After you execute the strategy over time, confidence comes from the strategy and it comes from you. So really the confidence that you're looking for as a trader, somebody looking to pull money out of the market every day, it comes from you. It comes from your ability to look at the edge and say, I understand why that works. Now, I also understand that every trade is not necessarily going to make money. The ones that do, I'm going to manage like a pro. The ones that don't, I'm going to manage like a pro. And that's where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from within because you have a strategy and it doesn't matter what happens in the market. We got a question asked last week that I think was just a phenomenal question. I believe it was Carol, if I'm not mistaken, where she asked, if I have 5 stocks in my list, which of those 5 should I be trading after the market opens? And the answer is all of them. The answer is all of them. Maybe not all of them at exactly the same time if you can't afford it. And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. If your trading account's not big enough, even if it's not, trade 50 shares of each one of those. If they match your strategy, it's our job to put on every trade that matches the strategy. That's where the confidence comes from. I trust the strategy. Put on the trade, put on the trade, put on the trade, put on the trade, and then manage them. We don't know which one is going to make money. And that's really the secret to trading. The secret to trading is we have no idea which of the trades that match our strategy are going to be the profitable ones or the ones that don't work out. And that's really where confidence comes from, because you're not having confidence anymore in whether or not the stock goes up or not, because a part of the strategy, the definition of edge, means over time. It doesn't mean every trade is going up. So confidence comes from the fact that it should, over time, continue. And if you learn how to manage those trades properly, scale out of the losers, get out of the losers, hold the winners, learn when to put the pieces together to hold those winners longer, when to have bigger share size, when to have more shares, when to have more trades. That's where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from inside of you when you have a strategy and you trust yourself to follow it. Have a great day, everybody.